And now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome Mr. Goh Pei Ming, Minister of State for Home Affairs and Social and Family Development, to join us on stage. MOS Goh is also the Vice Chairman of the Inter-Ministry Committee on Scams, which leads and coordinates Singapore's scam fighting efforts. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome MOS Goh Pei Ming, please.
To all the friends tuning in online, I promise you this is not a deep fake video. All right, very good morning, Mr. George Abraham, Managing Director, Global Anti-Scam Alliance, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first thank the Global Anti-Scam Alliance and the GASS Singapore chapter for organizing this summit and for the opportunity to share about Singapore's anti-scam efforts. It's a little bit pressurizing because I know today is supposed to be Solutions Day, so the promise is you will hear all the solutions, and I will only be able to share what Singapore is trying to do, but by no means are we satisfied with the outcomes yet, but it's a first step. Now, scams remain a key global concern. GASS estimates that the total global scam losses to be around more than $1 trillion a year, and this is large enough to be one of the top 20 largest economies in the world if you compare by GDP. It has to be so prevalent that most of us will know someone, whether a loved one, a friend, who would have been scammed. In 2024 alone in Singapore, about 1 in 120 were scammed. That's just within 1 year. And if you go by that statistic, and if you extrapolate it, within this room, there can jolly well be more than 1, 2, or even 3 individuals who have been a direct victim. The detrimental impact of scams is clear. Scams undermine trust in digitalization in the digital economy, and for the digital economy to continue to grow, businesses and individuals must be able to transact online with confidence. Scams also leave a deep psychological scar. The betrayal by scammers of this trust can cause long-lasting effects like withdrawal from society and, in extreme cases, leading to self-harm. Beyond the impact on the individual, scams also affect the scam victim's immediate family members and the community and the circle around him or her. In one incident in Singapore, one love scam case involving a 64-year-old female victim, the victim was so convinced that the scammer was going to marry her that she continued to transfer money to the scammer despite repeated advice by the police as well as her own family. This caused significant distress to all the loved ones around her, the trust that was broken, and the victim ended up losing more than 400,000 Singapore dollars. For Singapore, the war against scams remains a top national priority. Singapore is a very attractive scam target. The median wealth of adults in Singapore is higher than the global median, making us a lucrative target. The high level of digital penetration, access to the internet, allows scammers to very easily reach out to potential victims. And also because Singapore is a high-trust society, and this makes it easier for scammers to succeed in their deception, especially if they impersonate trusted entities from the government. Dealing with a threat as insidious as scams will require a whole-of-society approach. Within Singapore, our anti-scam strategy comprises 4 pillars. First, we prevent and block scams preemptively. Over the past year, the police has observed a shift from traditional modes of contact, such as SMS, towards online platforms. In the first half of 2025, scammers used online platforms to approach victims for 82% of the cases. We have worked closely with the online platforms to strengthen our scam disruption efforts using legislation levers from the Online Criminal Harms Act, and the police have disrupted more than 21,000 online monikers and advertisements in the first half of this year alone. Of particular concern is government officials impersonation scams, or GOIS in short. In the first half of this year, GOIS cases increased by about 200% compared to the same period in 2024, to more than 1,760 cases. Losses also increased by about 90% to about 126 million Singapore dollars. So in other words, on average, each GOIS scam results in a loss of about 72,000 Singapore dollars, and that is a staggering amount. For some victims, this could be their life savings and could fundamentally cripple their retirement plans, their life plans. The government will enhance measures against such scams. I would like to highlight the implementation directive that police will be issuing to Meta. This will require Meta to put in place measures to address scam advertisements, accounts, profiles, business pages, impersonating key government officials on Facebook. This will be the government's first use of the implementation directive, and failure to comply will result in stiff penalties of up to 1 million Singapore dollars in fines. We are issuing it to Meta because Facebook is the top platform used by scammers for such impersonation scams, and the police have assessed that more decisive action is required to curb such scams. We will continue to work closely with Meta to fight GOIS as part of the wider effort of ongoing collaboration with MHA and the police on other anti-scam initiatives. We will also continue to review the adequacy of the anti-scam requirements imposed on online platforms. For example, we have observed that the number of scam cases on TikTok has increased by 240% in 2024 compared to 2023. Police have designated TikTok as a designated online service with effect from 1st September 2025. TikTok will now need to comply with the Online Communication Services Code of Practice by 28th of February 2026. This will require TikTok to put in place appropriate systems, processes, and measures to proactively disrupt scams affecting our citizens. Second pillar, we encourage the reporting and detection of scams. We launched the enhanced Scam Shield application in August last year, and the application has more than 1.3 million downloads as of today. The improved app allows users to check suspicious messages, calls, and websites that they come across on third-party platforms such as WhatsApp and Telegram. It also encourages more people to submit potential scams that they have received and improves the app's overall ability to protect our users from scams. Since the introduction of the enhancements, users have submitted more than 230,000 WhatsApp messages and calls and 15,000 Telegram messages and calls for verification. We have also invested heavily in artificial intelligence and machine learning to scale up and expedite our scam intervention capabilities. For example, we introduced an AI-powered classifier to analyze, detect, and disrupt malicious scam websites. This reduces the need to manually sieve through copious amounts of information, allowing swifter intervention to take down scam websites. Third, we take firm action against scammers and recover scam proceeds. In the first half of 2025, more than 3,500 money mules and scammers were investigated, of which more than 500 have been charged by the police. Stiff penalties now apply to money mules and SingPass mules, after we introduced sentencing guidelines recommending custodial sentences for such offenders. These are individuals who hand over their bank accounts or SingPass accounts to scammers. And of the 230 money mules that we charged between August 2024 and March 2025, all adult offenders were sentenced to at least 6 months of imprisonment. So the message that we are holding from the government is a very clear one, that if you enable scams, even indirectly, we will take the individual to task and you will face the full force of the law. And this is done to protect our citizens. Fourth, public education. A vigilant public is the best defense against scams. In 2023, we launched the Ed, Check, and Tell, ACT in short, this campaign, and this encourages the public to implement safety features to protect themselves from scams, to check suspicious messages by calling the Scam Shield helpline, checking the Scam Shield website, or using the Scam Shield application. And also, T, telling a friend or loved one about scams to spread the message and to prevent them from falling prey to scams. We have also worked closely with partners to tailor public education content for different target audiences. For example, the Hack for Good program led by the Open Government Products team developed Unpacked, a realistic simulated scam experience that mirrors how scams unfold step by step. Through an interactive storytelling approach, users experience deception firsthand, helping them to recognize manipulation techniques and to take steps to better protect themselves against scams. And these efforts and more have helped us to make some progress to curb scams. In the first half of 2025, we saw a decrease in scam numbers by 26% compared to the same period last year. Scam losses also decreased by 13%. It shows that with sufficient determination and effort, we can push back against the scammers. But scammers will continue. They will continue to pivot. They will attempt to evade our measures because they're constantly finding new techniques, new ways, new loopholes to exploit. And so too must we as a community to continue to pivot, to think ahead, and act preemptively to stop scams from materializing. The government, the private sector, and the public must all work together hand in glove. I will outline two key areas to strengthen our defenses against scams: international collaboration and proactive industry-led action. International collaboration. Beyond domestic initiatives, international support and collaboration amongst all parties is a cornerstone to our overall fight on scams. Singapore is committed to work with our international counterparts to fight scams. In the first half of 2025, the police worked with foreign law enforcement counterparts to take down 8 transnational scam syndicates. Singapore started Project Frontier Plus in October last year, which links up anti-scam efforts from different countries to share real-time information and coordinate joint operations. This improves cross-border asset recovery and reduces the profitability of the scam business. Between May and June 2025 this year, Project Frontier Plus jurisdictions conducted a major cross-border operation to freeze more than 32,000 bank accounts and recovered about 26 million Singapore dollars. So we urge countries to set up their own central anti-scam outfits for dedicated attention to fight the scam scourge. Singapore's experience in our anti-scam command has been very effective. We think it's useful because it helps us effectively take timely action to coordinate with industry partners, freeze bank accounts, telco lines, and to seize scam-tainted proceeds. But the full value of setting up anti-scam outfits individually will only be able to materialize if you are able to coordinate effectively across borders. Because in most scam cases, such as in the case of Singapore, most of the monies leave the country within seconds of the scam taking place. Now, beyond government-led initiatives, private entities such as financial institutions, telecommunication companies, and online platforms also play a crucial role in helping to deny scammers of the tools that they require for their trade. We have seen the tremendous impact that private entities have made and can make through proactive and collaborative efforts. One example is the Stop Scams UK initiative in the United Kingdom, involving collaboration between the major banks, telcos, and technology giants to combat fraud. Under this initiative, members share technology, data, and intelligence indicators to remove fraudsters from their platforms. Closer to home, here, the Association of Banks Standing Committee on Fraud, comprising all the major banks in Singapore, proactively coordinates the implementation of anti-scam safeguards to protect our banking customers. And through this platform, banks share best practices, provides industry-level guidance on the implementation of anti-scam measures. I am heartened to hear the efforts and the progress of anti-scam initiatives championed by the private entities at this summit. One such initiative that we've heard a lot over the past day and earlier today as well is the Global Signal Exchange led by GASS. The GSE strengthens our collective ability to detect and deny scam actors by allowing participating entities to pool together intelligence and to act at speed and at scale. As Senior Minister of State Tan Kee Hau shared yesterday, GovTech will be joining the GSE to contribute and to tap on the information shared. Under this partnership, GovTech will send scam signals, such as scam-tainted websites, through the GSE to strengthen our detection and disruption efforts, and we hope this will also encourage many more parties, governments to come on board. Let me conclude. Scammers these days run a highly professional and sophisticated criminal enterprise. They grow in line with their profits and are incentivized to find the fastest, the most effective, the most innovative way to scheme and steal from our people without regard for the suffering that the victims will encounter. As scam defenders, we must change their calculus, and we must similarly find the fastest, the most effective, and the most innovative ways to counter their advances. And we can only do so by relentlessly and proactively pursuing strong collaborations within and between governments and the private sector. Conferences like this, the Global Anti-Scam Summit, allows us to exchange ideas, best practices, and collectively reaffirm our resolve to fight against the scams scourge. I wish you a productive second day and look forward to hearing your ideas to counter scams together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MS Goh, for your inspiring words. MS Goh, if you can please join us in the middle of the stage, please. I'm also pleased to once again welcome back George Abraham, Managing Director of GASS, together with Mr. Rajat Maheshwari, GASS Singapore Chair and Senior Vice President for Strategic Growth at MasterCard, and Ms. Ya Shimin, Vice Chair of GASS Singapore, Head Economic Policy from Southeast Asia from Amazon, to please also join us on stage, please. Can we welcome them? Can we give them a big hand, please? So first, we'll ask Rajat to present to MOS Goh. Firstly, a group photo first. Let's have a group photograph. Smile. Thank you. Can we have a thumbs up as well? A thumbs up? Thank you. So first, Rajat would like to present to MOS Goh a challenge coin. This is a GASS challenge coin. So just want to share the background behind it as narrated to me by George. So in World War II, there was an American captain that gave a coin to each of his soldiers behind enemy lines, behind Nazi Germany enemy lines. So this coin signifies that we are part of the team working together. So this is to thank MOS Goh for joining us in this fight against scams. Thank you. And now, of course, George would like to present a wheel of cheese all the way from the Netherlands. Because why? GASS originated from the Netherlands. So this is a nice wheel of cheese for MOS Goh. So when he eats the cheese, he can remember us here at GASS. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Please join me to say a big thank you to MOS Goh for joining us today. Thank you, MOS Goh. Thank you.